Good afternoon. This is Tiffany Fox, and we are talking about how to make gray using only complementary colors because we do not use black in my class. So today we're going to talk about gray, and this is part of, okay, excuse me, I have to make sure that you guys can see this. Okay. So these last four squares are the last four squares on the value scale lesson. So this is the value scale board. And again, let me make sure. As you can see, I am no professional videographer. So these are my colors that I'm using, and we only use, of course, the primaries and white, a warm and a cool of each primary, and then white. So in this case, I have a warm red, I have cad red deep, I have cerulean blue hue, I have primary yellow, and I have white. So these are all of the warm versions of our primaries. And so here I have them all. The kids label all of these. So here we have blue and orange complements, and we're going to make a gray. So I'm going to need to make an orange first. So I'm going to take a little bit of my yellow. This is a plate straight from my kitchen. Please don't judge. Now, way too much red because I'm getting a red orange. So you remember, it's a ratio. So I'm going to add a little more yellow in here. We're going to get closer to orange. There we go. That's better. That is better. I give the kids a color wheel, and I have them actually hold this right up to the color wheel or dab a little bit next to the color wheel. And I forgot to bring color wheels home with me, of course, but I'm sure you have a ton in your room. So I'm going to make my orange. And then, remember, equal parts of complements make gray. So I'm going to take what's on my brush, the orange on my brush, and this little bit of blue. I'm going to come out here, and immediately the kids are like, oh my gosh, I got green, I got green, I got green, I got green. Well, okay, don't panic. Because what is the complement of green? So we're kind of going around the horn here, and they'll say red. So I say, that's right. So we put the red in here. We probably had too much yellow in our orange. It could have been a million things that happened. I'm going to take some of this paint off. And they're saying to me, but wait, that's not gray, that's not gray. No, but that is a very nice neutral. So now, let's add the white in. Let's come over here and see what we have. And lo and behold, remember, acrylic dries darker. Lo and behold, we're getting a pretty decent gray. So let's come back in here and get a little bit of our mix. The only reason I didn't come in here to get the mix to begin with is because I didn't want to contaminate it in case we had to push it or pull it, cool it down or warm it up. So that's pretty good. So I'm going to load my brush. I'm going to get the paint. I'm going to sort of push some of this paint off. I'm going to load this up, and then I'm going to paint my square. Now remember how I talked earlier in the demo about getting all the paint mixed on your brush really good? As you can see, I don't have it all mixed really good, and some of that orange is still in there, and it's sneaking out as I'm trying to paint. So I tell the kids, if that happens, go back in and reload your brush so that nothing is sneaking out. Let's add a little more white because we know this is going to dry darker. And this is almost like a khaki gray. So, you know, they're saying to me, when am I ever going to need a khaki gray? Well, then we get to the automobile paintings and the silverware paintings where they have to paint a warm gray. And guess what? They know how to do it. In the beginning, you will hear so much anxiety over not getting gray. And the better they get, they will know exactly which two complements to pick up to make the neutral that they need. You don't need to buy brown paint. You don't need to buy black paint. They can do it all. So there's the blue and the orange to make gray. Now, let me show you how to make black. I'm gonna have to sneak over here and get my cool blue. So my cool blue is my ultramarine blue. So, see, if I had been ready for this demo like I needed to be, I would already have this squirted out, but if you've seen any of my other demos, you know, I can be a little bit unorganized. Okay, so we're gonna make black. So black, we're gonna use this cool blue. We're gonna use a little bit of this warm red, and we're gonna get a super, super dark blue violet. I mean super dark, like so dark. And the kids and I have found that this is just a really good combination with these colors, your cool blue and your warm red. So we're gonna make a super, super, super dark blue violet. Then we're gonna come over here and we're gonna get just a tad bit of yellow, because remember, the complement to violet is yellow, but the warm yellow seems to really do the trick. And if we put just a tad of that in there, remember, we don't want to put too much or we're going to get closer to gray. So just a tad of that warm yellow. And then I tell them, go ahead and put it on here. We'll tone that violet just enough to give you this beautiful rich black. And this black is gorgeous. I mean, if you, and again, you know, they're working on their craftsmanship, so I insist on really crisp edges. I'm a bit of a, they have to practice their skills. Oh, that was my dryer. They have to practice the skills that you want them to really get familiar with, which is, you know, clean edges and soft blending and all that stuff. They have to practice that from the beginning, and this is the very first exercise they do. So if you don't insist on them being neat at this point, when they start to paint things like the impossible shape, which I think I have right here, like when they do this, when they do the vector, then when they get into doing the automobile and the silverware, then they haven't honed those skills. And so then when their paintings are sloppy and, you know, we're like, why are your paintings sloppy? It's because they haven't learned to be neat from the very beginning. So if you just go ahead and insist on it at this stage, it pays off in spades. So there's our black, there's our blue and orange gray, and hopefully that was helpful. I'm gonna just peek here and make sure that you were watching this whole thing. Oh, you know what, that's not too bad. Okay, so I hope you have a wonderful day. And again, thank you for watching, thank you for purchasing, and happy teaching.